Right here, right here.
I want to get that rock. See that rock right there?
Sean, be careful.
Looks like that's Shara there. Shara, looks like there's something,
you guys,
something's going on.
Can you see this right now? We got one man who had a bow and arrow who was pointing at people, and now he is being attacked by this mob of people. The police are standing here. They're starting to move in. We got a vehicle that has been, they're jumping on this vehicle. They're punching this man. He had a bow and arrow in his hands a moment ago. I saw him pull back the bow. I don't know if he used it towards somebody, but I can't tell you he was attacked. He was being punched. An entire group of people jumped on top of him. Police have now made their way. Here he is walking across. Police are escorting him out of the area. He has a bow and arrow in his hand. He had some sort of a crossbow, it looks like. Sure. He's bleeding right now from his face. He's bleeding. People are throwing things at him. You hope at this point police would get him out of here as things start to escalate in this area of 400 South and 200 East. The police are trying to pull him back as this crowd yells at him and he is yelling back. He's bleeding. We have a vehicle that's also in the street that is damaged. People are jumping on it. They're jumping on his vehicle and they're smashing the windows. I don't know if that's his vehicle, but the vehicle that he was next to. And here it goes again. It's escalating as we ramp up here. Protesters are jumping on the vehicle. They're smashing it with skateboards right now. And it looks like they're attempting to try to flip it, but they're throwing things. Sean, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. You guys, we are right next to all of this. These people are jumping on the vehicle. They're smashing out the window. They're pulling things out of this vehicle. We can only assume that this vehicle belonged to that man.
This is just unbelievable what we're all witnessing right here. Shara Park live for us, 400 South, 200 East. Go ahead.
People are smashing out the windows. They are throwing things at this vehicle. It was a short time ago. Yeah, I've got two girls standing next to me. First of all, tell me your name.
I'm Kyrene Galanis.
Okay,
and this man in this car pulled out his knife that was this long, and he pulled out a bow and arrow and tried shooting someone. Multiple people.
Did it have an arrow in it?
Yeah, it did have an arrow in it. And he pulled it back and tried fighting someone.
And you girls,
you almost ran people over.
Is this helping? The whole point of all of this is supposed to be a peaceful protest.
It was supposed to be a peaceful protest, but people are tired of trying to get peaceful protests. It's not working for us. We've been trying that for the last couple hundred years, and look at what it's done. All it's done is just make more people mad.
What do you want to happen now?
All I want is justice for George Floyd and every other person who was killed by the cops. That's all we want, and they are understanding that.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. How are you guys?
They're on Alex.
Again, Shara Park there live, as you can see, those protesters, we assume, got a hold of the man who had the bow and arrow, got a hold of his car, flipped it over. They're now jumping on the car. They're trying to smash out windows. Alex, from your perspective, are police doing anything in that area?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes, they are, Lori. Yep, they're starting to form another line here and trying to back the crowd, the protesters away from that particular area over here. But, Lori, I want to... So, here we come on this side. If you still hear some more police activity coming in from the north side here, setting up another command line, it looks like. A march of officers this way as they're trying to get the crowd out of the way over here. But Stuart, could wrap back around. Lori, I want to show you this rock right here. This was a rock. I mean, look at the size of this thing. This rock was one of the rocks that was thrown by a protester, and it hit a Salt Lake City officer, one of them wearing a yellow helmet. All right, there's some people running. Okay.
It looks like they set the car on fire right there where Shara is at.
On the side of the head.
Shara, can you hear us? What can you tell us from your perspective there?
Dan and Lori, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Shara. Go ahead.
Dan and Lori?
Yeah, go ahead, Shara.
All right, you guys, I don't know how much of this you all just saw, but we have somebody just threw it. Hammer. Somebody just ramming me with a bicycle. I'm sorry, I gotta step out of the way. Okay. Sean, we're being told we need to get out of here. Turn around.
Just an unbelievable scene unfolding right now, 400 South, 200 East, where they have overturned another car. Apparently the owner of that vehicle, according to one witness, pulled out a knife and also a bow and arrow and was going to shoot somebody, and so he was
Dan and Lori,
attacked.
things have really escalated in this area. Police are pushing forward now. We just had another vehicle that was overturned. It was a few minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago, that a man with a bow and arrow jumped out of a vehicle and started to pull the string back on that crossbow, and the crowd jumped in and started attacking him and started beating him up. We saw people punching him, and the crowd jumped onto the vehicle and took that vehicle and flipped it over as police rushed in to remove that man with that crossbow out of the crowd. And just moments ago, we heard a ton of fireworks in the area, things popping, coming out of the vehicle. We had some of these officers telling us to jump back out of the way, and as we were doing that, some people with bicycles were trying to ram up against us. And this is really escalated here. Police have started to inch forward just a little bit, but a few seconds ago, we actually had somebody throw a hatchet, hit the vehicle, and then land about 2 feet in front of us. It is getting violent in this area in front of Library Square in downtown Salt Lake City. You can see the vehicle is now on fire. This is just a short distance away from where the police vehicle was overturned and set on fire.
Are you seeing any police at all?
About 60 or 70 that are really pushing the violence part of this. A lot of people standing around with their cell phones, recording the couple dozen that are jumping on the vehicle, that were jumping on it earlier. But this is really starting to escalate here on 4th South and 200 East.
And you can see that car right there on your screen on fire. It's been tagged as well as the protesters just moving around. Some people moving away. It looks like they're moving back because the car is now, the flames are moving to the front of the car. As you can see, the flames building.
Just an unbelievable scene that we're witnessing right here unfold in downtown Salt Lake City. I believe the governor and the mayor are supposed to be holding a press conference. Apparently it's through Zoom. I would assume that they've got to just be shocked, first of all, as to what's happening here, but also very upset as to kind of what has unfolded here. This started as a peaceful protest earlier today at about 11 o'clock. It was obviously in protest of George Fly, who died at the hands of an officer there in Minnesota. And now we're going to be hopefully hearing from the governor and also the Salt Lake City mayor as to what's their reaction is. We know that curfew has been set at 8 o'clock tonight, but as we've seen in other cities, curfew really means nothing. And in regards to kind of what the situation is and what's unfolded right here, we've seen a man get beat up, and we saw his bloody face after officers pulled him away. Now there's some explosions here with this car. Who knows what was in that vehicle, but we're going to hear some explosions as we did with the Salt Lake City police officer car.